Whenever I have to do something quick, I always bring a turtle.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time. I want to talk today about Shorty September. So Shorty September is a book event that was created many years ago by two different channels. It was Heather from Soggy Expat Book Nerd, but now she's called Too Many Heathers. So please look up Too Many Heathers and not the other name. She changed the name. Too Many Heathers, Heather from that channel, and also Bert from PastoryTime. And Bert's actually, well, they're a couple actually. PastoryTime, they both decided to take a break from BookTube. So if you go onto their channel, the videos aren't there. So I guess it must be that they've turned them private while they don't want to reply to comments or something. I'm not sure. I hope they haven't just deleted the videos. That'd be weird. But they're a brilliant channel, absolutely brilliant channel. And these two channels created Shorty September. And I noticed a couple of weeks ago, well, actually, I only just noticed, but it was put up a couple of weeks ago. Heather put up a question about whether Shorty September should carry on, knowing that Bert had gone silent. And he was just taking a break. And there's lots of people in the comments say, yes, please do it. And it's a great idea. And it looks like we're going ahead with it because, I say we, Heather's going ahead with it because she replies to the comment saying, yeah, I think I should do it. So that's great because I was planning on doing it. So what I wanted to do was kind of facetiously talk about some stuff that I'm not going to read. I don't think so. So they're kind of almost like recommendations, even though I haven't read them. But they're things I could read. But then I'm going to talk about the focus that I'm going to have in Shorty September because I'm going to combine two different things for it. But the reason why I'm going to do this first bit is because it's such a good event where you can delve into some shorter books, and there are so many great books out there that are shorter, and it's a good opportunity to celebrate the authors that have managed to do something magical in a short amount of time. So I would put it to 250 pages. I can't remember what Heather's official number is, but I'm calling. I think it's kind of up to you. I think, but I'm calling it 250 pages. And there's a couple of things I might mention later on that are slightly over that. But yeah, I'm going to start with some books I'm not going to read. I don't think I'm going to read unless I need a break from this focus. So I'll start with some books I don't think I'm going to read, and then I'll go on to some books that I want to try and get through. So like I always say with these events, I read probably most of the time 6 or 7 books in a month. If I get to 8 or 9 or 10, then that's a hell of a productive month. August should give me more, September should give me more time because the start of term is quite slow and it's not normally too hectic. October and November and December start getting mentally hectic, but September is usually not too bad. So that's the plan. Okay, right. So let's talk about books that I could read if I wasn't going to have this focus. So these are books that are in my collection that fit under the remit of Shorty September that I really am looking forward to reading, but I probably won't read in September. But just to give you an idea of some things you could read if you want, or if you could give me some feedback on what you think of these books. So the first thing, we've obviously had a recent Steinbeck event on BookTube, and there's loads of his stuff that's quite short, but the one that's been talked about a lot in the chat is Travels with Charlie. So it's a non-fiction Steinbeck book. I could read Travels with Charlie. What a beautiful condition this is in, by the way. But this is brand new pretty much, even though I didn't buy it brand new. But anyway, bought in Brighton. Travels with Charlie, John Steinbeck. I could read that, or if I wasn't going to have my focus, I probably would. But anyway, this is a possibility. You could read that if you want. Another one, The Hustler. The Hustler is a short novel as well. So this is another one I really want to read. I really want to read some Walter Tevis. So I've got a few, and Ollie recommended Mockingbird, and I've got that out of the library. I need to renew that. But Walter Tevis, someone that I really ought to read, and that's under 250 pages. This is one from Mark, Three Men in a Boat. Actually, Aaron read a book, also raves about this as well. So Aaron read a book, Aaron read a book, and Mark from Book Time with Elvis, both consider this one of their favourite books. Three Men in a Boat, I could read that. I'm a little bit wary of it, just because I think it'd be such a shame if I don't think it's as funny as those two guys do, because I absolutely love it. But humour is subjective, so, you know, they might read my books and not find them funny at all. So, I don't know. But that's a short one as well. Another short one, which I've had in my collection for ages, to be fair. I might just squeeze this one in because it's so short. And that's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I've seen the film. I love the premise, but I don't know what it's like in its actual prose. So it'd be interesting to read that. So Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It's very, very short. So definitely falls under the remit. There's quite a few Bukowski books you could read that are quite short, but Factotum was in my vicinity. I thought it'd be worth mentioning Bukowski, and if you haven't read anything by him, I would suggest that you have a delve and see what you think. So this would be a reread, to be fair. So this is unlike the other ones in this first section where I have actually read it, but I haven't read it for a long time, and I'm going to reread all the Bukowski I've got, which I'll talk about in another video. Crash by J.G. Ballard. So I'm reading some J.G. Ballard at the minute, but Crash is different to everything he's written. I've seen the film, but again, J.G. Ballard's writing style is quite interesting, and I do want to read this. This falls under the remit as well, so you can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of recommending books without having read them because they fit under the remit. Percival Everett, I really, really liked Erasure, and I'm going to read more of his stuff over the coming months. And Telephone is a very short book. It's only I can't even read that. I had my glasses handy in case I wanted to read the synopsis at the back. Yes, just under 250 pages, 246 pages, 247. Yeah. This could be interesting. And then just a couple of crime ones that I could read because they're very, what's the word? Acclaimed, but also I'm trying to read more crime anyway. So the Jim Thompson's Pop 1280, Pop 1280. I'm not really sure how to say the title, to be fair. Pop 1280. This is a very acclaimed crime novel, quite an intense, hardcore crime novel, I think. And but again, very short. It's not even. It's just going into. No, it's not. Is it 200 pages? No, it's not even 200 pages. So it's a very short one. And then just a quick mention of McBain. So McBain's novels are often quite short, so I could easily read the McBain one. But that's a little bit of a kind of an interlude, just so that people who are not science fiction focused might get something out of this video. What I do want to do is focus on science fiction. So vintage science fiction is full of short books, right? So this is an opportunity to look at that. So I'm just going to quickly run down some of these books that I'd like to get through, because I've got so much vintage science fiction and there's still some holes I want to fill. So there's Robert Silverberg's Recalled to Life. This is a really old vintage copy with green edges, green text block, I think that's the correct term. Recalled to Life, Robert Silverberg. Phil Sturgeon, I still haven't read this, and I've put this up on the screen a few times. Venus Plus X, I just love that cover. Half the time I've just put it up because of the cover when I've done a video about covers and stuff. But I do like Theodore Sturgeon, so Venus Plus X is one I definitely want to read. This is a big one because I'm a huge Logan's Run fan, and I've got Logan's World, and Logan's Search is the other one. There's 3 books about Logan, and they're so expensive. So this was really good getting this. But Logan's Search, every time I search for Logan's Search, it's really expensive on eBay. So if I ever find it in the wild and the person that's selling it doesn't realize how rare it is, that'd be great. But Logan's World is definitely one I want to read, about the future set in the Logan's Run world. This is one that I've recently got. This would be a reread, to be fair, but I'm dying to reread it. Star Smashers of the Galaxy Rangers by Harry Harrison. It's got a sticker there that I probably can't get off. I'm a bit afraid of trying it. But Harry Harrison, Star Smashers of the Galaxy Rangers. What a great cover. This is the reason why I bought it, was because of that cover. I've already got another copy of it with a more boring cover, but how cool is that? So, Star Smashers of the Galaxy Rangers. If I don't read this for Garb August, which is a possibility, then there's that. I love Alfred Bester. The 2 big ones, Stars My Destination, or Tiger Tiger, and The Demolished Man. But I've got other stuff by him that I haven't read. So this is The Deceivers. So I'd like to read that, just to read more Alfred Bester. This is a big one. I really want to read this, and why I keep putting it in my vicinity, in my proximity, in my eye line. That's the word I was trying to find, in my eye line, and I still don't pick it up. And I do really want to read it. I love the first book, and I want to read this. So there's that. Goblin Reservations. This has had a lot of praise recently on BookTube, where our little corner of BookTube has been doing a little Simac thing, and I know Pat from Book Chat with Pat in particular absolutely loves this book. So that's a good one to pick if I go down that road. 2 Edgar Rice Burroughs books. So obviously you immediately think of Michael K. Vaughan when I mention the word Edgar Rice Burroughs, right? But out of Time's Abyss, these are kind of Lost World books. The Lost Continent. So these are like alternative world stuff. Yeah, I get it, definitely intrigued, and everything I've read by Edgar Rice Burroughs so far I've liked. So those are 2 possibilities there. I like Paul Anderson, Guardians of Time. I've got a few out there, over there, to be fair, but I just picked this one out. Guardians of Time I could read, very, very short, but I like how he writes. Space Opera by Jack Vance. I'll just read a bit of this one, actually, because I think the plot's really funny. When a mysterious opera company from an unknown planet arrives on Earth, human music lovers are astonished and infuriated. And when that same opera company suddenly vanishes without trace, Roger Wall's wealthy aunt determines on revenge. An earthly operatic team is dispatched into space. Their destination is the distant world of and their subsequent adventures are, to say the least, unexpected. Weird worlds, enigmatic aliens. It could be fun. Space opera. Jack Vance. I used to read some Jack Vance when I was younger. This is another one that really ought to get dealt with. Earthworks by Brian Aldiss. Still haven't read it. Wilson Tucker's The Lincoln Hunters. Again, time travel. What's the matter with me? Why haven't I read that yet? That's one that I need to read. And a Philip K. Dick one that I haven't read yet, that fits into the remit of Shorty September, Clans of the Alphane Moon. Another fantastic vintage cover there, but I ought to read that. And an A.E. Van Vogt's book called The Undercover Aliens. It kind of looks interesting. I'll give you a little read. A scream of agony in a darkened office, an oddly constructed mansion high on a hill, which had been there far longer than memory or history could reach. Extraterrestrial intervention in the slow build-up of the last devastating war mankind could suffer. A young lawyer who finds himself inextricably involved in a brutal pre-Aztec cult. A group of people whose origins are shrouded in mystery and who have one thing in common, that ancient house on the hill. Could be some sort of disguised aliens thing. And then just to finish off this little sci-fi bit, Earthmen Come Home by James Blish, one of the Cities in Flight novella books. There's 4, I think, in Cities in Flight. So James Blish, Earthman Come Home. I could read those books. So just something else worth mentioning. I am likely to read Dandelion Wine in September. So I'm buddy reading this with a few people. One of them is Dave, but I think Sherry might be one of them. And Margaret might be one of them. Pat might be one of them. I'm not sure. I need to make sure I've got that all sorted before September. But Dandelion Wine is definitely next on my Ray Bradbury deep dive. And another book that falls into the remit, I'll mention it. I don't know if I'll read it or finish it, but I'm in the middle of reading this. And Oliver Sacks, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. That one. So this was the one in there was the first book in my failed book club, where I told everybody that I'd be reading a different book every 2 months for this club, and I haven't even got through the first book. This is a good book though, so it's literally the fact I told myself it was a mandatory book that blocked my gateway into the book, which is ridiculous. But it's really good, and I just need to finish it. So that could be a thing as well. So lots to look forward to reading, lots of potential situations where I can fill in the gaps, and some great classic stuff and just short stuff by famous authors that I could read if I'm not going to be so obsessed with science fiction. But that's my idea, that's my plan. Let me know what you think below. Any of those books that you think I should get to straight away, I'll prioritise them. I think Heather's going to make an announcement by the sound of it. She seemed very positive about doing the event. We're clearly not going to get an announcement from PastoryTime unless they come back before that, which would be great. But check out Heather's channel, and I'll probably link some other people below that I know have done the event in the past, because I think they're quite cool to look at their channels as well. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for watching. Stay curious, everybody.
Paint me a picture of what it's like to be